Intamin Amusement Rides just released videos for 4 new coaster concepts, and it's led to some mixed reactions. They look like great rides, but they aren't exactly new concepts. In fact, they look pretty similar to recent models that we've seen from other manufacturers. Some people are disappointed by this, and I can understand that. But when you dig down to what this means for the industry, it's actually a great thing. Today, I'm gonna look at these new Intamin concepts and explain how they benefit the industry. Let's take a look at the 4 models. First, we have the Hot Racer, a single-rail launch coaster that may or may not have a second dueling track. The Giga Splash, another single-rail concept that serves as a shoot-to-shoot water ride. The Ultra Splash, a single-rail launch water shuttle coaster. And finally, the Vertical LSM coaster, a compact layout with a multi-pass launch. So let's address the elephant in the room. The Hot Racer is basically the RMC Raptor, combined with the premier-style West Coast Racers racing factor. The Giga Splash looks like a marriage of their Perilous Plunge and Pilgrim's Plunge style rides. The Ultra Splash is pretty much like a Mach Ride's Power Splash. And the Vertical LSM coaster looks very similar to a Premier Ride Skyrocket 2. Is Intamin really bringing anything new to the industry, the way that SNS is trying to do with their Access coaster? Not really. There are some interesting tweaks to each of these models that makes them different. The Hot Racer brings a launch to the single-rail coaster. The Giga Splash rides on a single rail, and it even has an airtime hill at the bottom of the first drop. The Ultra Splash uses a single rail, but compared to the Power Splash, that's really the only difference. And the Vertical LSM coaster has some really cool elements that the Skyrocket 2 does not have. These aren't significant changes, but they are small improvements, and it gets down to the real reason that I'm happy with these announcements. In the free market, the consumer's best friend is competition. Multiple companies in the same industry competing for your dollars means that you're gonna get a better product for less money. We see this in the auto industry. Of course, barring tariffs, trying to protect domestic companies from international competition. We see this with all of the technology that we buy, especially smartphones. We even see this in the fast food industry. For a company to survive, they need to find the most efficient way to deliver the best quality product possible. Theme parks benefit from competition among coaster manufacturers. They end up getting a better product for less money, and all of us benefit from that. The parks won't charge us as much to get in, and they'll have more cash in hand down the line to add more rides. After all, theme parks are competing with each other for our dollars too, trying to offer the best experience at the lowest possible price. Intamin's launched Hot Racer will push RMC to keep their single-rail model as an attractive option. Maybe they'll look into adding a launch. Maybe they'll design a dueling model. Maybe they'll try to appeal to parks by offering a much less expensive and much more reliable option from what Intamin is pitching with the Hot Racer. RMC has been the only show in town when it comes to extreme single-rail coasters, but that won't be the case anymore, and it'll be interesting to see how they respond to Intamin's Hot Racer. The Giga Splash is a little tougher to pinpoint, because it seems that Intamin is just competing with themselves in the extreme shoot-the-shoots market. But with their others being less than reliable, parks may be leery about ordering one. Their new water coasters, like you'll find at Mirabilandia and Energylandia, have similar technology, especially with that elevator lift. So parks may be looking at the track record of those coasters and making their decision, rather than the failure of rides like Pilgrim's Plunge. Mach Rides had the launched water shuttle coaster market all for themselves until now. There's not much different about the Ultra Splash compared to the Power Splash, other than the single rail track versus the normal track. But parks have a choice now, and maybe Intamin's model was designed to be cheaper. We've already seen Mach reveal their looping Power Splash, and Intamin will surely have to have an answer for that. Mach and Intamin will go back and forth for years trying to one-up each other with this model. This will drive them to sell more and make back all that money that they spent on research and development. Premier Rides has enjoyed shelling out their compact, thrilling triple launch coasters, especially to the SeaWorld chain. Honestly, the Intamin Vertical LSM coaster looks better. It has an upside-down launch, an awesome-looking torpedo dive, and a zigzag loop, which looks like a non-inverting loop that may actually turn upside down. So like an Immelmann followed by a dive loop. If this Intamin model is more compact and more thrilling, and is just as reliable because it's using the same LSM technology as Premier, the ball will be in Premier's court to do something different. And suddenly, we have a war to make the better, cheaper, super compact launch inverting coaster. Did Intamin copy some popular designs from 3 other manufacturers? Absolutely yes. And if you're RMC, Mach, or Premier, maybe you're a little cheesed off about it. But as coaster fans, I say embrace the competition. We're about to have a war to make the best single rail, launched water shuttle, and super compact launch inverting multi-launch coasters. That's not a bad thing at all. We don't want manufacturers to get lazy and have us end up with the same old thing year after year after year. We want them to keep getting better, and the only way they'll do that is if they're being pushed by their competitors. That's all I have for now. Let me know what you think about these 4 new models, and if you agree with me that this is a good thing for the industry, or if you would have rather seen something fresh hit the market. Before you leave, don't forget to leave a like, and I'll see you guys all next time.